All right, hi everybody. It's me, Bonkai922. Kind of still have the cough, but doing okay. Bleach chapter. Last week's chapter wasn't really feeling it. Now this week's is kind of the same, but actually something very dramatic happens towards the end. But pretty much this chapter, 614, kill the king. Now, long short of it. We've got Kisuke. He's ready. He's set up. He's ready to go to get everyone to the Soul Palace. Um, I think Soy Funk says a few words here, saying, "Oh, basically Kisuke trying to tell them basically there's a possibility they might not be able to return. It might be a one-way trip." And we have the Visors there, and there's a scene with um, I forgot her name. Um, her name eludes me. Anyway, her putting on the advisors, they put on their little get up, the Soul Reaper get up, and they're ready to go, essentially, to go to the Soul Palace. Now, the second half of the chapter, the rest of it, is pretty much Bach and Ichigo, everybody there. Ichi, Ganju, Chad, and Orihime. And, Orihime says a few things. She's saying how his eyes look weird. Um, his eyes look weird. Basically, he has multiple eyes, and so on and so forth. Now, what transpires? It's kind of strange because when you think about it, I just wonder about it. What occurred? Because basically, Bach saying, I'd foreseen everything and that you would be too late to save the Soul King, and the Soul King is dead already, blah, blah, blah. And then Ichigo goes and grabs the Bach's sword that's in the Soul King. Chest, I think. It's in his chest. And basically saying, you do it, you could do it, Ichigo. Bach's telling him to do it, unsheath that sword. And it says, bring Soul Society to ruin with your very own hands. And then out of nowhere, he kicks the sword out, and the blue vein activates in Ichigo's body. Now, here's the thing about this whole scenario. Like, I just wonder about that because did it? Is Kubo telling us that, duh, this was going to happen, like it was going to happen regardless? Because it just seems so induced, like it was induced into this chapter. Like, oh, Ichigo's got Quincy blood. Oh, he grabs the sword. Oh, blue vein face. Duh. Like a duh moment. Duh. But, and he basically has the sword and the blue vein activates. And, um, he cuts the Soul King, essentially. And then Bach saying that he's foreseeing this and basically saying that the blood flowing through your veins is Quincy blood cannot forgive the existence of the Soul King. Now, this brings up some questions also, like Kubo could maybe explain a few things down the road. Hopefully he explains a few things. Like, exactly why is it that to Bach and the Quincy's they cannot forgive the existence of the Soul King? Well, a lot of questions on that. And then the final page is basically Come, Ichigo, let us gaze together upon the destruction of the soul of Soul Society. Prologue to the destruction of Soul Society. A huge blow has been dealt. The dusk of Soul Society approaches. Um, see now, and you see Ichigo slumped. He's got an Ichigo, the version of Ichigo thing going on. Um, and Box just looking out with his googly eyes at the scene below. Now, I'm hoping Kubo in the next couple of chapters explains a few things when it concerns the Soul King. Because I feel like it's something that needs to be explained in detail, especially when you consider the fact that Bach is supposedly the Soul King's son. Like, what happened? Like, to some extent, I think they should show like what happened with the Quincy's and the Soul Reapers and the extermination of them and all that jazz. Because that's the only way you're going to get to an explanation of a whole situation. So we'll see. We'll see what occurs here. Now, this is kind of strange though, because Ichigo kind of just killed the Soul King. And I'm like, yo, Kisuke, maybe you should have had Ichigo go there, knowing he has Quincy blood. Yeah, maybe you should have said, Ichigo, you know what? You don't have to go up there. Nah, it's all right. It's okay. It's okay. Well, I can. No, it's okay. You don't have to go up there. Um, nah, you can stay there. Because, you know, he doesn't need to go up there. Does he? Really? He got Quincy blood? Hmm? This is so ridiculous. But, overall rating, I probably give this 4.5. I felt that it was sudden, but hopefully Kubo explains. Explaining time. Needs to explain. More to the point, like I said, Soul King. He needs to explain the Soul King. He has to explain that whole situation. Because if what Box said about, Ichigo's Quincy blood, the existence of the Soul King, by the existence of the Soul King, then it must mean something deeper, more deeper than what we're here to believe. So, yeah. Give or take a few. But yeah, it was a good chapter. Like I said, 4.5 out of 5. We'll see next week. But I really think Kubo needs to explain a few things with Soul King. He's definitely gonna have to explain a few things. It's you can't just say, oh here, no, explain. Give us something. But and I'm noticing like he obviously the Soul Society is crumbling kind of way. I wonder what is exactly going to happen from here on out, especially with Bach. Like, okay, upon the destruction of the Soul Society, but what do you do after that? He wanted to destroy the Soul Society, but what's after that? Should be interesting to find out. I'm Bonkai922. I'll see you guys later. Ichigo killed the Soul King. That is so fucked up. I'll see you guys later.